Alright, heading back to Curious Vicious gaan-telet to take it on with the Tinker class. Since I had this fresh kingdom with no quest items unlocked except magic-related ones, I figured Tinker would probably be pretty great. There's lots of shops, I can afford lots of items, and because the kingdom item pool is kind of rigged, there will be a lot of good caster items available, so hopefully this should go pretty well. Now, up at the far north there, you see that glyph-shaped question mark? That's what the Tinker usually uses to mark where the sub-dungeon entrances are. But this is Vicious gaan-telet, there shouldn't be any regular sub-dungeon entrances outside of, all the ones in the courtyard. So, why is that one up there? What is it marking? The answer is it doesn't seem to be marking anything. Every time I've tried the Tinker class, when I finally get to the question mark spot, it's just a completely empty tile. My guess is that what's going on is that the Tinker is marking where the sub-dungeon would have spawned if they were allowed to exist. Like if this were a normal dungeon that actually had a typical sub-dungeon. And my guess is that that's what's going on there. That's why the spot is always empty, because even though there isn't actually a sub-dungeon there, if there were going to be a sub-dungeon, it would be somewhere that didn't already have something. So that's what all that's about. I don't know the full details of that. The same thing does not happen on regular Vicious gaan-telet, only on the Curious version. I stepped down to pick up a plate mail there. I did not step on the other shops down by the border there. The reason I was able to get the right one was I'm using a technique known as Translocation Scouting, and by known as, I mean I've never seen anyone talk about this technique, so I just made up a name. So how Translocation Seal works is you click on it and it does little sparkles that are like this is ready to cast, and then you click on a shop and get the item. But to help make sure you're looking at the right shop, if you mouse over the shop like there with the Dragon Soul shop, it will show you the contents of that shop. Now, it's expected that if you're going to try to translocation seal a shop, it's going to be somewhere you've already been, but that's not actually required. So using the translocation seal, I can have a peek at a shop without actually going to where the shop is. It's particularly useful for shops that are up against the edge of the courtyard, because if I step on those, then I'll be exploring 3 tiles that are just plain wall, and it would really suck to explore 3 tiles that are just plain wall only to find that the shop you were looking at contained, I don't know, a spoon or something. So Translocation Scouting is a great way to find out what's in shops without actually spending any resources on it, since it lets you avoid exploring darkness, it lets you avoid picking up a piety sparkle that might be on the shop. So it's extremely useful here, and I'm surprised I've never seen anyone mention it before. So you're doing it again, Trollheart. Glad I don't have to step over there and explore wall tiles just to find out that there's a Trollheart there. Trollheart is not something we're looking for. We want caster items, and we've had pretty good caster items so far. We found the big 3 that we really want. Soul Orb, Plate Mail, and Dragon Soul. I've already taken 2 of them. The 3rd Soul Orb I'll take as soon as I need it. And we've seen other good caster items as well. There was a crystal ball in the shop. If we have gold left over, then that would be very convenient. There were elven boots as well. They're honestly not that great. Magic resist is not very valuable in Curious Vicious gaan-telet, because there's only none of the final bosses have magical attack, and only 3 tower floors have magical attack out of the 9. And of those 3 tower floors, 2 are very weak in terms of combat stats. The Beholders and the Rattling Priests. Those usually go down in like 2 hits, so you only actually get hit by them once, so magic resist doesn't help much against them. And the 3rd is the Curse Bearer Wraiths, who you're cursed most of the time you're fighting them. So magic resist doesn't do anything there either. Might have been a bit of an inefficient use of one of my translocation seals. Oh, there's these guys as well. I forgot about them. The Sea of Ray Life Druid folks. They hit fairly hard. Magic resist helps against them. Okay, fair enough. I'll buy that. I stand corrected. Exploring to get gold just so I can afford that soul orb. Because there's a level 7 Wraith over there and I'd like to kill it. But I need inventory space for that soul orb, so I'm deciding what to do. And I think I'm getting rid of Wannafight for it. Wannafight is quite nice as a sorcerer because it gives you a way to slow the Undying Sculptors. And slowing the Undying Sculptors means that they don't retaliate, which means your mana shield doesn't kick in, which means they don't spawn an extra golem. For us, slowing doesn't matter as much, and Wannafight isn't that reliable because on early tower floors where you're not the same level as the monsters you're fighting, it just doesn't work. Like here it would actually have been pretty nice as a way to like gather all the Sea Bray around the entrance so that I wouldn't have to step on any of these corrosive plants, but they're higher level than me and I'm certainly not going to get to level 8 before I start fighting them, so oh well. Fireballing a corrosive creeper because I know I'm going to level up soon and I want to spend all of my mana before I do. And if I hadn't fireballed the first corrosive creeper, then fireballing that second one would have leveled me up by popping the burning stack, so... Looking for the Sensation Stone. There it is. I want to convert it, but I may as well leave it on the ground for now. Like, it's possible that later on I'll be able to get more value out of it, whether it's by worshipping Glowing Guardian and getting more piety from the conversion, or maybe like Pact Maker's Spirit Pact. And it's not going to get any less valuable, so why not leave it there? This is quite a nice floor to get early because this is the Fireweaver floor is also where the Ritual Scroll drops. It's nice to be able to get all cursed and stuff early enough in the dungeon that you can actually not feel incredible pain from being super cursed, and you'll be able to actually clear the curses easily before you really need your resistances back. Thinking hard here, calculating exactly how much damage my fireballs will deal, so I know how many tiles I need to explore. And popping the burning stack killed them. So Mystera's Flames Boon is extremely valuable here, and there's a couple reasons for that. One is that more damage is pretty nice, but the other reason is that Flames reduces your attack power, which means there's a lot more monsters in the courtyard you can just punch and not actually kill them. And you want to be able to punch weak monsters because that way you'll be able to do things like pop the burning stacks of the Fireweavers. And since the monster is weak, you won't take damage in return. I could kill this Fireweaver here, but it's dealing more than a Retaliate's worth of damage to me, so I'd rather explore and heal it back up enough until I can just barely survive the next fireball. Because I'm no longer carrying the burn salve, I had room for the ritual scroll, so that's nice. I use that right before killing one of the Fire Weavers. So that I would effectively only have to do 2 fights while cursed instead of 3. Again, I'm leaving those attack boosters up near Mystera on the ground because I don't use physical attacks to kill things I actually want to kill, but I do use physical attacks on little courtyard monsters who I would really like to keep alive. Checking out my options again, there are 4 visible shops in the courtyard, and I've bought 3 items so far. The big 3, Soul Orb, Dragon Soul, Plate Mail, along with the Elven Boots. Since there's 10 shops, there's 2 more left, and there's one of them. Piercing Wand, excellent. Without Piercing Wand, I could still deal with Horatius Resist thanks to Bin Lore, but Piercing Wand is a much more convenient solution. Monster is burning equal to exactly its remaining health, so it dies. I should have thrown a fireball instead of a punch there, just to spend mana before leveling up. I hadn't noticed I was going to get a level up. Right, so here we're at the Frostblades, and we got the Grim Malice tower penalty, so we're immediately cursed, and we're going to have to clear that to deal with the Frostblades. Frostblades, I used to think they were the absolute scariest thing in the tower. Now I'm thinking they're not really so bad, but you do need to be prepared to deal with them, and the main way to be prepared is you need Plate Mail and you need Mystera's Flames. And Plate Mail doesn't work if you're cursed. So here's what we do. After every single time a Frostblade hits me, I'm going to go downstairs and punch a courtyard monster. Specifically a courtyard monster that can survive my punch and that doesn't deal any damage to me. Getting hit by those courtyard monsters clears the frostbite, but because they don't deal any damage through my Plate Mail, I don't take any damage from the frostbite either. It works kind of like corrosion that way, which is with that trick where Plate Mail is really good at killing the Indomitable and Vicious Steel, where if the regular damage doesn't get through, the corrosion on you doesn't hurt you either. And that's how you deal with the Frostblades. But to do that, you need Plate Mail. You need to not be cursed so your Plate Mail can actually do something. And you need your attack power to not be too high, because you don't want to be killing all your popcorn in the process of this. And the most consistent way to make your attack power not too high is to take Mystera's Flames boon. Flames is just really nice for a spellcaster. At least a pure caster, who doesn't use those gauche physical attacks. The last 2 hits of these Frostblades I can usually take down by physical attacks. My punches are weak, but they're at 1 HP already. What do I care? Battlemage Ring. Excellent. I wish I'd found this sooner. Battlemage Ring would actually have helped a lot in the level 9 Fireweaver fight, because of just the way the numbers work out. If you're level 8 and you're fighting level 9 unstable opponents with Codex, and you have 2 sources of +1 fireball damage per level, your options for that being Mystera's Flames, Battlemage Ring, and Sorcerer's Flame Shield, or Mana Shield, you want 2 of those. If you got the 2 of those, then it works out that after 2 fireballs, if you're level 8 and they're level 9, they'll be reduced to exactly 16 HP with 16 burning stacks, so you save an entire fireball that way. So Battlemage Ring earlier would have been helpful, but I'm fine with having it now. I'm just glad it's there. My inspiration for doing Tinker next was basically Sorcerer's 3 abilities are Mana Shield, which is kind of +1 fireball damage per level. It's better against Death Protection, much worse against Undying Sculptor, so let's call it +1 damage per level-ish. Sorcerer also has +5 max mana, and Essence Transit, the heal for casting spells thing. And I realized, well, Tinker can buy Battlemage Ring. That's like Mana Shield. And Tinker can also buy a Mage Plate, which is +5 max mana. So with those two items, Tinker's going to be most of the way to being a sorcerer. And if that means that if Sorcerer can do this, I feel like Tinker can probably beat Curious VGT as well. So that was my reasoning for trying Tinker next. The other reasoning was, if I've got a rigged item pool, I may as well try something that exploits it fully. Crystal Ball can be nice here, but even as a Tinker, money is kind of tight. If I'd found a Midas Glove, which is another item I unlocked, then Crystal Ball would be amazing. But without the Gloves of Midas, I'm gonna need every penny I can get. I just won't have any left over to spare for sinking into Crystal Ball. But otherwise, these were great shops. Like, Midas Glove was pretty much the only thing on my wish list that I didn't find. I found the big 3 mandatory items. I found my plate mail, or not plate mail, my Mage Plate for max mana, found Battlemage Ring for damage, found Piercing Wand for dealing with resists, even found an Elven Boots lying around, which, again, the magic resist isn't worth that much. They're super overpriced for what they do. But +3 max mana on a spellcaster never hurts, especially a Gnome. Got a nice collection of Frostbite clearing cows. I really need a better name for these things, but monsters that will deal 0 damage to me and won't take lethal damage from me. Unfortunately, one of them, that level 5 Meatman, is standing on the level 7 dungeon entrance, so it will have to die before the endgame. Ravaged by forces beyond your control. Not awful, not great either. The only real problem it gives is the poison. So basically just means I'm gonna have to drink a health potion. I could use Halpna instead, but I want to leave that on the ground. Inventory management is a bit of a pain at the moment. Speaking of things that are a bit of a pain, freezing rates. So I hate fighting these things, but at least we found them early. Because they give usually 15 curses. It can be 20 if you get them at the end of the tower. So you really want to get them early enough that the curses will actually go away by the end, because if you're cursed fighting Horatio, you lose. There are Frostbite stacks I can't clear completely for free because, thanks to being cursed, the monsters are hitting me back. I could kill a bunch of popcorn to clear the curse stacks, and depending on what enemies I see in the next few floors, I might end up doing that. But until then, I may as well not. And since I'm about to level up, I'm going to get value out of max mana immediately. So I'm going to trade out my shield, which, since I'm super cursed, won't be relevant for a while, and pick up this Mage Plate in its place. Spend my piety at Mystera because I'm maxed out at 100. Unfortunately, I can't really fireball much of anything to waste my mana here. I'm going to kill off a couple of poisonous folks because they're terrible popcorn. But I don't want to use up my actual useful popcorn. Look at that, I'm so weak I can even use a level 2 Dragon Spawn as a Frostbite Clearer. That's really convenient. Alright, that's 4 down, 1 to go, and now we've reached the eye strain phase of the Binlore floor, where you squint really hard at the half-explored tiles you can kind of see across the water to try to see if there's any little bit of bloodstain visible. And if there's not, you just gotta explore and hope. Binlore floor gives you a ton of darkness, but you can waste a lot of it trying to find the enemies if you get unlucky. Right. Out of all the floors to get Flash of Insight on, that's about as not bad as I could imagine. It's following directly on the heels of Binlore floor, so we're not completely starved for darkness. It's the Undying Sculptor floor, so I want to fully explore it before I start fighting anyhow. And it's a small map because it's Johora Jaheyu's tropical island. Like, it's a medium-sized room with some dark tiles inaccessible across the water. So because of that, couldn't really have asked for a better pre-explored, other than just not getting the pre-explored event at all. Killing up some more snakes while I'm exploring, bit of a mistake there. I'm clearly not going to be able to kill off enough monsters to clear my curses perfectly for this floor, and now I'm exploring at full health to get some mana back. I'd really like to be at my full clip of fireballs going into this place. This is a good positioning for this fight. It's early enough in the tower that they still go down in 2 fireballs, which means I should be able to get through with only 5 golems spawned. On the other hand, Wait What didn't spawn, so this is very risky. If I'm unlucky, things could get hairy. By which I mean I could just straight up lose. Getting boxed in by golems will just straight up kill the run. First one spawned on the exit, but it's moved since then. None of the others have been that bad so far. So, pretty lucky with the chaotic and the golem teleportations. And the golems aren't blocking me out of the entrance. Alright, very clean Undying Sculptor floor. I'm at Beholders, and I don't really need to convert out of Mystera urgently, but she's not giving me a whole lot anymore. I bought like most of her major boons because I've been worshipping her for ages, and I know the Rattling Priests are coming up, and I really don't want to be worshipping Mystera at that point. The Beholders have magical attacks, so I'm not going to be gaining piety while fighting them. So, because I'll get like 5 piety for each fight from casting spells and then lose 5 piety for killing magic. So this seems like as good a time as any to convert over to my old friend Johora Jaheyu. I'll throw 1 fireball first because I gain piety and don't lose piety for it. And then this is actually a perfect conversion because it means I can immediately get Petition. And maybe Petition was a mistake here because Halpma exists as a consistent way to cure poisoning. Maybe I didn't actually need Petition, but I'm gonna kill this meat man now while I have mana to spare when I'm about to level up. I fireballed that level 7 meat man there to get Mystera piety, forgetting that I'm now worshipping Johora Jaheyu. Mystera has nothing to offer me. And my curses are cleared. Oh, and look, it's the Rattling Priests. I am vindicated in my choice to convert to Johora Jaheyu. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of piety so that I can buy one of JJ's boons before I head off to fight. Since I've got tons of max mana from both Mage Plate and Elven Boots, I'm gonna get some extra health first. Max health is going to help a lot in the end bosses because of I'm going to get a lot of percent refills from Sanguine. Now, doing math here carefully, my fireballs basically deal 120 damage each. 40 normally, 40 from Codex, 10 from Burndaraz, or no, 10 from Battlemage Ring, 10 from Flames, and 20 from Burning Stacks. With 10% Protective Blessing, that's 108. That means that with the Burning Stack pop, I exactly kill a 10% Protected Rattling in 2 fireballs. 20% I do not kill in 2 fireballs. So because of that, I'm specifically hunting the 10% for now. I'm not gaining piety with Johora now. You can't really gain piety while fighting the Rattling Priests, but unlike Mystera, I'm not losing piety either, so I'll take it. And it's the other Corruptors. They give lots of ensnare. I can easily punch weak monsters in the courtyard to clear that off. It's maybe a little unfortunate finding the compression seal this late, but honestly I'm just happy to have an easy opponent high up in the tower. In fact, these last several floors, what was it, Undying Sculptors, followed by Beholders, followed by Rattling Priests, followed by these guys. Lots of easy fights here. I'm rather glad we got the Cursed Wraiths and the Frostblades out of the way early. Takes 15 mana to kill one of these guys. Hey, past me? You do know you're ensnared, right? But please tell me you noticed you're ensnared, because this fight's going to be a lot harder if you didn't. You just gotta punch some dudes down here in the courtyard. You can clear it really easily. Ensnared makes this fight harder for absolutely no reason. Oh, nope, nope. I did not notice I was ensnared. I completely forgot about that. Oh well. I'm gonna make another self-deprecating joke here about exactly the sort of precise technical play that's required to beat Curious Vicious gaan-telet. Just completely forget you're ensnared. Level 9 unstable enemies are actually a pretty huge pain. I can't survive a third Retaliate, and it takes basically 4 fireballs to kill them, so they're pretty nasty up here. On the other hand, I've had great runs that got to the 9th floor, and then, oh, the 9th floor was Cursed Wraiths, I literally just lose. So in that sense, I'm quite pleased that, even if these guys are unstable, they're more of a nuisance than truly deadly. Killing that jerk because I need access to the stairs to Horatio once we've reached that phase. The ensnare is finally gone, so hopefully the next couple fights will go more smoothly. No, not really. Still took 4 fireballs, so it just meant there had to be more mid-fight regen fighting to heal up the golem in the middle. So, I guess me not noticing Ensnared and completely forgetting about it didn't actually hurt me in any way. If anything, it helped me. My recommendation if you play this game is only make mistakes that help you. I'm gonna pick up Helmet here. Our health is a bit of an issue in this fight, and I think it's going to be useful early on in the Horatio fight as well. I want to convert to Dracul for my health solutions, but I'm nowhere near 50 piety. Because the Rattling Priests, I couldn't gain piety with Johora because they're Corrupting Aura. Then the Corrupting Aura Wraiths also meant no piety gain. And this current floor has the no experience tower penalty, which means Johora isn't amused by these kills because they're not considered EXP valuable enemies. So Johora, really not giving me a whole lot so far. And I can't, it's not like I can convert to Dracul without 50 piety. This is looking like I'm not gonna get the piety I need in time. I'm probably going to need to either desecrate someone or ask the pack to make for help. Alright, stairs to Horatio unlocked. Not sure if there's anything more that needs to be done down here. I'm mostly thinking about my god situation, and I think I'm going to stick with Johora, get as much value out of Helma as I can, and then, once I find I need it, switch over to Dracul. Alright, let's do a Whoopaz Strike for massive damage. And it's Zaya. $25 mana is about as much as I can hope to get from the Schadenfreude potion. At 26 mana, my fireballs cost 5 and my mana potions heal me for 10 mana. So I'm not really going to be able to like round off that last point of mana very easily. I'm going to convert Helma so that I can get the refreshment bonus because I need Helma out of my inventory to make room for Piercing Wand. In retrospect, maybe I probably should have waited until I converted to Dracul to convert Helma, just because Dracul likes seeing Helma converted. But oh well. Alright, got a full heal from killing Zaya and leveling up, so now I've got Piercing Wand, I can start getting to work on Horatio's resists. And because I'm using Piercing Wand instead of Biceps or a similar effect, I'm able to get to work on Horatio's health bar at the same time as his resists. I feel like the endgame of all these Curious Vicious gaan-telet runs would take like half as much time if I didn't obsessively check every tower floor and over. That's why I explored 3 tiles there. That was a misclick. I double-clicked on the stairs to go up, and it turns out I triple-clicked. So, whoops. Okay, now here's me thinking I'm really clever. I'm gonna Desecrate Tiki-Tuki. I'm gonna get weakened a bunch. It's not gonna matter because I'm not hitting the bosses with physical attacks. But it means that when I'm hitting like these courtyard monsters to lifesteal off them, they deal 0 to me, and eventually I'll only deal 1 damage a hit to them. So, you know, that's gonna be really valuable. I am getting weakened once with each of these hits, but my actual damage is only going down once. Or once every 4 hits or so. The reason for that is and I'll check this in a moment, I have a super negative attack modifier. Because it's minus 75%, that's minus 50% from flames, and minus 25% from Mage Plate. And I didn't pick up any of those boosters on the ground, they're still there. But yeah, I figure going down to 1 damage isn't so bad. I can still lifesteal off anyone who can't get through my Mage Plate. And I'll be able to drain exact health from them even if they're just level 1. So I'm thinking I'm really clever here with that Tiki-Tuki Desecration. And it won't be until I see exactly what went wrong with that plan that I realize the flaw in my reasoning. We'll see if, I don't know. Can you tell what's going to go wrong with that scheme? It's a pretty funny mistake. Only life-stealing like 3 health per hit, but that's fine, right? I can just do as many hits as I want. Even lifesteal off these level 1s, and we have a problem. My attack power is now 0. I completely forgot that if you get weakened to a base damage of 1 and you have a negative attack bonus, your attack power becomes 0, not 1. That's used in some exploits, like being able to punch an enemy without hurting them infinitely many times to get dodges, to get piety with Tiki-Tuki, but it can also cause problems. On the bright side, if I punch an enemy I haven't punched yet, then even though I'm hitting them for 0, and not stealing a single point of health from them, Dracul still seems to think I'm using lifesteal on a new enemy, so Dracul still gives me a little piety. So that's kind of a funny interaction, I didn't know about that before. But yeah, getting a lot less value out of my lifesteal than I would have been able to if I'd desecrated, say, Bin Lore. I only have 5% physical resist. My 20% magic resist isn't doing anything. It was a huge mistake to not desecrate Bin Lore. Alright, phase 2 of Horatio down, we're up against Spleen. I'm gonna hold on to the Piercing Wand a little longer, because Horatio still has 2% resists. And while 2% is not much, if I hold on to the Piercing Wand, I can get it down to 0% for free. Having checked all the tower floors, I realized that I found that being able to get 3 tiles from my transmutation seal there was the best I could do in terms of exploration. So that's what I was looking for when I checked those towers there. Getting some exploration in now because Horatio can't heal while he's in non-existent land and Spleen's in his place. Question is what to convert. If I get rid of one small item, like the Soul Orb, which has long outlived its usefulness, then I can pick up the Long Rant. because I do need inventory space to actually carry that up to Spleen. Just punch that monster to see if I'd actually hit them with lifesteal yet. I was still looking for piety from Dracul. Apparently that level 2 goblin was still worth piety. I'm even willing to take a bit of damage to get a bit of Dracul piety. I probably shouldn't be willing to, but apparently I am. And then I can explore to get it back. I don't want to be doing any more exploring until the next phase ends and we're up against the Avatar. Since no sense doing exploration while Horatio's around and can benefit from it. Trying to decide to do with what to do with my remaining gold, and there's basically two options. One is buy a burn salve and a pendant of mana. Burn salve to cure the corrosion from Spleen, and pendant of mana to get 1 more point of mana per mana potion. The other option is to just buy a Schadenfreude potion. And what I'm going to decide is, since I'm working so well with Dracul at the moment, I think I'll be fine on health. I'm not planning to go Earth Mother, so all of the blood pools down here can be used for Sanguine. Although, of course, there's a lot of monsters here I can't kill because I have no attack power. So all of them are going to not drop blood pools due to not being dead. And we'll use Consensus to get a 3rd layer of Sanguine immediately. But I think with triple Sanguine I should be fine. Alright, Horatio's back. Really thinking about the burn salve approach, and I do think it's pretty valid, but I'm gonna get a lot of health from Dracul. I can get even more from Glowing Guardian. I'm planning on skipping Earth Mother, who only gives health, not mana. Or only gives mana, not health. So, because of that, I think I'm gonna get by without the burn salve. At least the numbers in this fight are nice and round. Horatio's hitting me for 40 every time. That's exactly 2 blood pools worth of health. I'm at max piety with Dracul. I haven't noticed it yet, but I'm not really sure what to buy. Due to Consensus, I can't get enough piety to buy a 4th layer of Sanguine. So I'm going to be wasting a lot of potential Dracul piety here. I'm not using Schadenfreude because the Avatar's coming up and I'm going to be able to do some exploration then. Hello, the Avatar. This is where I've noticed I'm at max Dracul piety, and I'm trying to see if there's anything worth doing. Certainly a 2nd layer of lifesteal is not doing me any favors. suppose I'll get a bit more resistances. It's better than nothing. I'm gonna get topped off again by blood pools. Exploring every explorable tile while I still can. There was one tile on the Dracul tower level that I missed. Just didn't notice it was explorable. It was in the top left corner. But since I missed that tile, now I'm thinking, you know, I'm never going to explore ever again because there's definitely 0 explorable tiles remaining. What if I ate the nom-nom to make my sanguine a little bigger? I've got the inventory space. We'll get around to that soon enough. I'm losing 3 potential mana from this Schadenfreude potion, but again, I'm spending 10 mana at a time. Or spending 5 mana at a time and gaining 10 mana at a time. I'm never going to really get to round off that extra 3 or so. I suppose once I convert to Glowing Guardian that would have happened. I hadn't been thinking about that, how Glowing Guardian's health and mana restoration boon is slightly different numbers from a potion. There's the Nom Nom. Still favoring blood pools in the tower than in the courtyard just in case I decide to go Earth Mother, but it's not likely. Penance would give max mana, but 26 to 27 max mana is not any sort of breakpoint. In particular, mana potions still restore 10 mana either way. So because of that, I'm fine with leaving Penance on the ground. Right, I'm running out of blood pools, so here's something I'm going to try. I'm going to take Blood Swell, and then kill a monster to get rid of the curse. And there I'm basically spending 5 mana to get a full bar of health. More than a full bar, in fact, because I'm also getting a blood pool out of it. I don't know if that's worth it or not. It's really hard to tell what the exchange rate between these things is, but I don't feel terrible about it, at least. Piercing Wand is completely useless now. Let's convert that. Looking for more junk to give my gnome to get more mana potions, so that I can spend this huge health bar I got before I can switch over to Glowing Guardian. Since I don't want Glowing Guardian to see me drinking blood, he tends to be a bit touchy about that. Yang Sword I could convert, but the Death Protection option is still worth holding on to, I think. On the other hand, Penance, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be wanting later, so that I can very happily convert. Alright, now I'm going to drink the last couple blood pools, and that gets me to 50 piety, so hello, Glowing Guardian. And I'm just checking to make sure I do still have all my indulgences left from desecrating Tiki-Tuki, so I'm not in imminent danger of one wrong move wiping my entire inventory. Because being at 0 piety while worshipping Glowing Guardian is scary otherwise, especially when you know, are capable of drinking blood. Explored that tile for mana, but since I was poisoned, I did not gain health from it. Ratio's really low, getting really close. Still obsessively checking tower floors. Let's convert this cracked amulet. It's worth conversion points, it's worth piety. Maybe that whole time I was worshipping Dracul and had too much piety. I should have had the Pact Maker's Spirit Pact going to gain more from my conversions. Alright. One more fireball will kill Horatio. And there's lots of ways I can get that last point of mana. I could get more piety. I could convert a bunch of items, but I'm just kind of paralyzed by indecision of exactly what to do. I don't think it's really registered for me just how close to dead Horatio is. And I'm trying to find the best option between many options that are all going to work fine. Horatio's gonna die. But it really just hasn't registered for me that it's fine. I won. I can do anything to get this last point of mana and I'll win. I don't even need the last point of mana. I convert items, I get piety and a potion. I'm distracted by the piety and I don't notice I got a mana potion. This is a very embarrassing endgame to be putting online. And then I check Horatio's health and I realize, oh, he's at 11 HP and has burning stacks. I didn't have to do anything, I just had to punch someone to pop the burn. And that's it. I spent an indulgence there, by the way, stepping on Horatio's corpse where there was a blood pool. I kind of wonder if anyone's ever got punished by Glowing Guardian at the very end just by stepping on the boss's blood pool that way. Yeah, this definitely didn't feel like as worthy a win as the Sorcerer, because whereas the Sorcerer, I used the Rigged Kingdom for convenience to make it easier to get that combo that I needed with less scumming. Here, I was relying heavily on the fact that this was a super rigged kingdom with super rigged magic shops to get ridiculously good shop spawns across many, many shops that would just not have been realistic otherwise. So this feels a little less fair than the Sorcerer win, but I'm still happy with it. A curious VGT win is a win.